All right. Hi. Sorry I am late today. I am usually always on time for stuff, but it has been a very busy day. I hope that you have had a really good week. I'd love to hear about it. You guys here in the group, tell me where you're at with everything, with your business, all that stuff. And definitely let me know what questions you're having today. So welcome to Telehealth Tuesday. If you are catching this live, comment live. If you're watching on the replay, comment replay for me and let me know that you're here with me. And tonight we are going to be talking about a question that I've been asked in the past before from therapists who are very accustomed to working with people like hands-on in person, and then making the transition to working with patients online and offering any kind of services online can be a big change, if you are really accustomed to that. So that is what we are going to be diving into. Pardon me, I'm still getting things set up. I'm all discombobulated with being late this evening. The other thing I wanted to mention before I forget, I know some of you guys have seen it, but I have this month, I have 3 spots available for one-on-one business coaching to help you guys grow your telehealth practices. And 1 spot's been filled. So if you're interested in that and you're really looking to build a caseload within the next 90 days and build systems in place to help you continue to draw leads and build your online caseload, let me know. Would love to chat with you. But the doors for that are probably going to be closing next Friday, I believe is the 19th. So if you are interested, definitely sign up for a free consult with me. You can apply for the Telehealth Business Academy by going to the link in the description. And I'm excited to hear from you. So getting into this, the question for tonight has to do with, let me put it up here. Has to do with treating, like how do you transition between doing stuff online, when you're used to being like super, super in person. And I know that some people have been interested in this topic. So let's talk about it. So just kind of like a disclaimer and a background. I myself am like super exercise based. Very rarely do I do manual stuff. And that's just the way that I like to treat people, and that, I feel really strong in that way. I'm able to help get people results. And then I pull out, the manual tricks as I need them and as they're appropriate to use with patients. So for me, making the transition to doing stuff online was not like a huge jump. I do a lot of talking during my evaluations and during my sessions. I ask for, a lot of input and a lot of information from the clients. And then I do a lot of instruction on exercises, on the background of the exercise, why it's important, what to do, what not to do. And for me, part of that is just because I really like to help build self-efficacy and self-confidence in the patients and the clients that I'm working with, so that they know that they are going to work with me for a certain period of time, but then they'll also know how to take care of whatever they have going on down the line if it does come back, or they know how to maintain the gains that they've made, and the progress that they've made over time once we stop working together. So that's really important in my treatment process. Is I don't want patients to have to see me forever. I like doing check-ins with them. That's something that I do incorporate into things, is I will check in with them even after they've left PT and coaching and everything. But that's kind of my practice and treatment philosophy. And so for me, it's a little bit hard to speak to, if you're somebody who's like super into manual techniques, joint mobilization, that kind of stuff, like what you might be feeling right now. So I'd love to hear in the comments if you are like a super hands-on person, like physically, like literally hands-on person. Tell me a little bit more about like your feelings and your thoughts on that and transitioning to doing online stuff. I'd love to hear more about that. But I do have a few tips that I wanted to share. For those of you who might be feeling like online stuff may be like kind of weird, or you're not really sure how to jump into that. We'll definitely talk about that. So, like I mentioned, like the beauty of telehealth and like the awesome thing about telehealth that can also be a little bit intimidating is that like you can't touch the other person, like you cannot do it for them. And I found that it really made it for me where I had to try to, learn how to communicate better. I had to become a better speaker. I had to be better at explaining things. I had to learn how to demonstrate myself, on this side of the screen, and like help direct patients on their side of the screen so that they are able to perform whatever exercises or techniques I wanted them to do. So, I had to become a much better communicator, and also learn how to ask better questions during evaluation and continued assessment. So like that's one thing that I really, really like. The other thing that I really like that leads me into this first tip here is that it has to be like very function and patient, like goal oriented, all the stuff that you're doing, to continue to see results, and connect what you're doing back to like, why should I do this exercise? And so when it comes to telehealth and explaining like why your services are valuable and like what you can do for somebody on the internet, which like traditionally with therapy is like not the thing. Now it's becoming more mainstream. But you start with, identifying the goals of your patient. So where are they at right now? Where do they want to get to? And what is it going to take to get there? So, we're not thinking session to session to session anymore. It's thinking about the full transformation. And so if you can have a conversation with your patient about, where they're really at, what's really important to them right now, and what they're looking for and why you might be a good fit for them, that is something that they're going to buy into, because, people want to buy things that will help them save time, that will help them save money, that will help them make big life transformations for things that matter to them. That's what people like see value in, and that's what they'll spend money on and they'll buy from you, because you can really deliver on that big transformation, and you can also help save them time so that they're not constantly in pain or unable to do certain things, just because like they weren't able to figure it out on their own. So first tip in selling your services online is you need to identify the goals of your patients and essentially like how you can create and help facilitate the transformation to get them there. So that's like kind of like the really zoomed out thing, thinking about like, where are we even going with all of this? And like I mentioned, kind of like second step, is going to be, okay, I understand that I can't put my hands on a patient, but what can I do? What do I have at my disposal in order to help facilitate a transformation and improve self-efficacy and improve education for the patient, so that they are able to get the results that they want. And for me, it's like I said, like a lot of talking, a lot of having a conversation, a lot of building rapport, building trust, learning how to communicate really well. And like one thing I do with my evaluations that, like, at least for me, when I like really kind of like got this down and learned about it, I thought it was amazing. But like investigating symptom behavior with what's going on, just by talking and having a really solid conversation with a potential patient, can lead to a lot of answers in understanding what is going on, how it's acting, throughout the day, throughout the week, what's bringing it on, what makes it worse, what makes it better. Really diving into that. And then, doing a movement assessment, looking at the way that their body is moving and how things are going, and then talking about what it's affecting and what they really want to get back to. So really having a good conversation has led to a lot of results for people. And then, like I said, being able to, step back from the camera and, like I'd come back here and demonstrate different exercises, or go downstairs in my garage gym and show people different stuff to do, and then helping to direct the patient on their side of the screen to go through the different exercises as well. So I guess like with this, tip number 2 is learning how to communicate really well and educate really well in a way that, makes sense and connects to the patient's goals, is going to be huge. It's going to be really, really key. So, you might be thinking still, I only do stuff really with patients, in person, hands-on, manual techniques, love it. What else is there? And it might be worth it to like talk to other therapists, like myself. Feel free to message me if you want, and ask about different cases and like how you could go about, treating somebody or helping them on that transformation. But you also know so much. You know how to do this without being super hands-on. And then that brings me kind of to my last tip here. I know that there are a lot of people in this group who are practicing and offering services, over long distance, so this may not be possible for everybody. But if you are somebody who's like very, very keen on, there has to be hands-on stuff in the plan of care, there's also the option to offer both in-person and telehealth options as sort of like a hybrid model, where, you do mobile and you go to somebody's house for some of the sessions, and then you see them online for other sessions, or however you want to mix it up. So, just because you do offer telehealth doesn't mean it has to be the only thing that you do. You can always combine them. So I hope that this helps. For Christy, who was asking me about this, how do you offer services online if, you're really used to and bought into doing manual and hands-on stuff, and your potential patients are your potential audiences? How do you switch to online stuff? A lot of it just comes down to identifying the goals and transformations that the patient wants, and what do people really want from you after working with you, and then learning how to communicate it really well with your words through demonstration, education, and resources that you can share online, to still help them get the results that they want. But definitely like that, the client journey, the patient journey is super key in helping people stick with that. So I hope that that's helpful. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your experience, what you've done, what's helped you, or if you are somebody who's super into manual, what you're thinking, after watching this video. And like I said, next week, next Friday, the doors will be closing for my one-on-one coaching program on the 19th. And there are 2 out of 3 spots left and available for that coaching. So if you are like really ready to take your telehealth practice from, 0 to paid, seeing clients, having paying clients in the next 90 days or less, I would love to work with you. I'd love to help you out. I love doing all this stuff. And yeah, you can go to the link in the description and book a free call with me and let me know what you think. So I hope that you have a good rest of your day. Hope this video was helpful. And if you need anything else, you know where to find me. I'll see you guys next week.